Hello, crafty friends, it's Julia here, and I figured I hadn't done any coloring with colored pencils on Kraft for a while, so I'm doing this today. I have this wonderful bird here from the alleyway stamps, and I'm going to stamp him onto a Kraft card base here. Now I'm masking off his legs because I already know that I want to create a window card. There are no dies for the stamps by the alleyway stamps, but I am going to be using my brother's scan and cut machine to cut this bird out. And I knew that the legs would be too skinny to be cut out properly, so that's why I masked them off. Basically, the scan and cut machine scans the paper, and then it shows you what it scanned. And then I said, make a border of 1 millimeter around the scanned image and cut it out. Of course, I had the note card open. So it wouldn't cut through both layers here. And that's how I created my window card here. So I was absolutely tickled pink that this worked. I didn't know if this would work, but I was so happy that it did. So I taped down this note card I taped it shut because I have to stamp through it, and I didn't want the top part to flap up and bump against my stamp. And I'm going to line this up. It actually took me like a minute to line this up properly, and stamp through the opening onto the inside of the card. Because when I had this cut out, I had a border of 1 millimeter. I had some wiggle room there to make sure that I could stamp through the opening. Now I'm taping this down again because I'll stamp it a second time because now I want the legs. I couldn't stamp it with the legs at first because of course I hadn't cut them out. So here you see how the bird looks like with the legs. Thanks to the Fiskars stamp press, I was able to line this up quite well actually. Now the coloring, I've sped this up. This is actually 8 times the speed. It took me 16 minutes to color this, to be honest. So I sped this up because otherwise you'll be bored out of your skull. You already know my preferred method. I start with a very light hand and lay down the first layer of color like very, very lightly. Then I come back in and apply layer after layer until it's to my liking. Here I did 3 layers of color, and then I come in with a gray pencil just to add some depth and definition to the bird. You can see that, well, like I said, it took like 16 minutes for me to do that, but I feel when you want to color with pencils, you need to take your time. Like, you need to be aware that this is going to take some time. This is not as quick as copy coloring might be. Like, I find copy coloring much faster. But yeah, like colored pencil to me is something that I do to completely relax because it takes a whole lot of time, but it's just something to help me, put my brain into standby mode. After trying to solve problems all day, like I work technical support, this is very relaxing to me. Sorry for turning the image around all the time here, but I'm somebody who has to color in a specific way and I need to turn my image around usually. It drives me nuts if I can't do that. Sorry, I hope you don't get, motion sick here. Since I'm coloring on Kraft, coming in with the white pencil actually creates a really nice effect here for the eyes and for the top of the bird's head. And then I came in with a fine line pen and added those eyelashes because I just thought that, it's a girl and it looks just so hilarious with those eyelashes. I'm using a ruler here to create a straight line on the front of the card, and then I'm using a circle die to draw a shape here. You can use any circle die. You could use like a cup or something if you don't have a circle die. So just anything that will allow you to draw like a somewhat circular shape, because I want to create like a sky around the image, but on the front of the card. I purposefully opened it up so I wouldn't be coloring onto the bird, through the opening, because this way I don't have to be quite as careful. I just put some scratch paper underneath here, so if I color into the opening, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to create a gradient here going from orange towards yellow and then towards blue, like you would have is it a sunset or sunrise? I'm not sure. One of those. Just, whatever you like best. So I'm putting down the colors here, and at first you see it's not blended. It doesn't look fantastic. I already knew that I would be using some blending solution to blend these colors together. So in total, I'll be putting down 3 layers of color, and you can see that I always go over the previous, I put down the orange and I went over the orange with my lighter orange and then blend this out further towards the top. Then when I grab my yellow, I dip into the previous color and then work my way towards the yellow area. That is to make the blending easier, to make the colors merge with each other. I don't really know how to explain that. Like I said, I learned this blending technique in the coloring classes by Kit and Clowder. I have a link to them on my blog in the sidebar. That's where I learned all my skills, like the coloring skills, and I can only recommend them. And so that's what I'm doing here, and you can see that it doesn't look very blended. So I'm grabbing my blending solution here. I'm using Zested because we don't have Gamsol here in Germany. I think you guys in the US usually use Gamsol blending solution. Like right now it looks a little bit darker than it did before, because the blending solution is wet, and it looks darker because it's wet simply. But once it dries, it will actually lighten up again. And what I'm doing here is I'm basically just moving the pigment around thanks to the blending solution, and making sure that I have really nice smooth gradients here, and that the colors are not like ending on a like in a line or something, you know, that it looks smoother. And you will see once it dries, like in the stills at the end, you will see that it blends out really nicely. The sentiment is from a stamp set called Spell Check. It is just hilarious. I love those bold sentiments, and I'm using VersaFine ink because it's very opaque black ink to stamp my sentiment here. I just think like the look of the bird and then the sentiment is just hilarious. It makes me giggle all the time. Of course, I had to grab my white gel pen. You could totally skip this step, but I felt that by adding the white outline on this colored piece that I did here, it just gave it additional contrast and made it stand out more. Especially since we're working on a Kraft card base, the white really pops. And of course, I couldn't help myself. I had to add some dots here. You could, again, totally skip this, but I wasn't entirely happy with the blending from the yellow to the blue. And I figured that if I just added some dots, I could totally distract from that. But don't tell anybody, okay? It's our secret. So then I grabbed my black fine line pen again and added some more details. I think I saw Katie Rakusen do this. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but I think I saw her do this, and I just thought it was pretty sweet how she added the colors, not the colors, just some little extra accents to her coloring and to the images that she colored. So here's how it looks like. Here that you can peek into the card through this window that I created, which was, you know, I'm so delighted that it worked out the way I imagined it. And here you have a close-up. You can see that how nicely the scan and cut machine actually cut this shape out, and you can see the bird on the inside of the card. And after I'd finished the card, I actually went in and traced with my white gel pen around the bird to make it stand out even more, and it pops right off the card. It almost looks like a sticker actually. It's really neat. And here's a picture of the finished card. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun with this project and you give your colored pencils a workout. Thank you, and catch you again soon. Bye bye.